China is the world's largest rice producer and consumer. The planting area of hybrid rice has reached an astonishing 250 million acres, accounting for 57% of all planting areas in China. The increased food production from rice fields alone is enough to feed 70 million people every year. This number is equivalent to the entire population of a medium-sized country. Traditionally, rice cultivation relies on fertile soil and abundant freshwater resources. However, there are more than 665,000 square kilometers of highly saline-alkali land in China's deserts. These areas were once regarded as forbidden areas for agriculture, and no food could be grown at all. However, the Chinese scientific research team has continuously pushed the boundaries of scientific research over the past 4 decades and successfully developed a salt-tolerant desert rice, successfully turning these barren lands into green fields. Now, China's successful example of growing desert rice has also attracted the attention of other desert countries. In a test field in the desert on the edge of Dubai, a new type of rice developed by China has achieved major success. Here, rice has been successfully grown in more than 10,000 square meters of desert, with the highest yield reaching 8,000 kilograms of rice. In the future, this Chinese innovation is likely to bring huge changes to the desert. So, how does China grow rice in the desert? Can more rice be grown in deserts in the future? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Food security is the basis for the stability and development of any country. If a country relies too much on imported food, its sovereignty and future development may be affected by external factors. Take China as an example. This country, with a population of more than 1.4 billion, consumes up to 700,000 tons of food every day. In order to ensure self-sufficiency, China's grain planting area needs to be maintained at between 2.3 and 2.4 billion acres. But the reality is that China's current cultivated land area is only 1.9 billion acres. To achieve self-sufficiency in food, China still needs to expand new land resources or improve land use efficiency. At present, China's desert areas account for 700,000 square kilometers. If these vast desert lands can be converted into fertile fields, China's food security problem will be greatly solved. Based on this idea, after 4 years of hard work, Chinese scientists conducted more than 1,162 field experiments and 875 pairs of experiments, and finally developed a rice variety suitable for growing in a desert environment. This kind of desert rice can not only improve harsh soil conditions and alleviate salinity problems, but also achieve survival in desert areas. In order to verify whether desert rice can be grown on a large scale, in 2017, Chinese scientists selected a test site on the western edge of the Taklamakan Desert and conducted an unprecedented experiment. The salinity of this experimental land is as high as 17 per thousand, and the pH value exceeds 8.0. It is a typical high saline-alkali soil. However, after a year passed, the once barren land began to become fertile. What is even more shocking is that in March 2018, the rice harvest in this experimental field ushered in a bumper harvest, with the yield per mu reaching 549 kilograms, far exceeding the original expectations of the scientific research team. The success of desert rice has sparked international interest. Many countries are hoping to introduce this innovative crop to their soil, and Dubai is one of them. In September 2018, China and Dubai signed an important cooperation agreement to jointly carry out desert rice planting and research in Dubai's desert areas. This cooperation also includes the establishment of experimental farms to field test the growth possibilities and economic benefits of desert rice. Just a year later, a massive experimental saltwater rice farm was born in the desert of Dubai. The farm has not only received financial support from commercial investment, but also received a strong boost from China's One Belt, One Road initiative. So why are Chinese scientists helping Dubai grow desert rice? Will this experiment be successful? Dubai is a city-state built in the desert with a desert coverage rate of over 90%. More importantly, Dubai's annual rainfall is extremely low, even less than 100 millimeters. This has resulted in sandstorms becoming almost a daily occurrence in Dubai, causing great trouble to the lives of local residents and the city's ecological environment. We all know that rice is a crop that requires a lot of water and a suitable climate. Although desert rice developed in China no longer requires a lot of water, daytime temperatures in Dubai sometimes reach 50 degrees Celsius. This extreme high temperature poses a huge challenge to rice growth. At the same time, the desert in Dubai has extremely high alkali content, which is not conducive to the growth of desert rice. In such a climate, growing desert rice is almost an impossible task. Although growing desert rice in Dubai faces many difficulties and challenges, Chinese scientists have never given up their exploration and efforts. In 2018, scientists from China began their desert rice planting journey. At first, the extreme climatic conditions of the Dubai desert made it difficult for the rice seeds they brought to germinate, grow slowly, and even wither. Faced with this situation, Chinese scientists understand that only by cultivating a new variety that can adapt to extreme environments can they successfully grow rice in the desert. So, after more than 3,000 experiments and hundreds of breedings, they finally selected a desert rice variety suitable for Dubai's conditions. Shortly afterwards, Chinese scientists successfully planted salt-tolerant rice in the harsh, dusty environment of Dubai. The desert that was once barren of grass has now become green and full of life. At the same time, the highest yield of desert rice reaches 500 kilograms per mu. With this successful experience, in 2019, the Chinese scientific research team established another 1 square kilometer experimental farm in Dubai, planning to expand the scale of desert rice cultivation. In addition to this, Dubai is also expanding this concept in 2020, aiming to cover approximately 10% of the UAE's desert land with rice fields, with a total area of 83,600 square kilometers. So, once the plan is successfully implemented, what changes will this bring to Dubai? According to statistics, Dubai currently consumes more than 40 million tons of grain every year, of which up to 90% relies on imports. Dubai's population is approximately 3.5 million, but with rapid urbanization and natural population growth, the UAE's population is expected to increase to 5 million by 2030. At which time annual food consumption is expected to surge to 59.2 million tons. As we all know, over-reliance on imported food is not ideal. On the one hand, volatility and uncertainty in the global grain market may lead to supply disruptions or price spikes, posing a serious threat to Dubai's food security. On the other hand, this dependence also means that Dubai lacks autonomy in food security and is vulnerable to external political and economic factors. Once desert rice can be grown on a large scale in the desert, the amount of food in Dubai will reach 7.5 million to 20 million kilograms. In the future, as the scale of desert rice cultivation expands, eventually covering 10% of the desert land in the UAE, Dubai will be able to achieve self-sufficiency in food and get rid of its dependence on imported food. More importantly, desert rice may have a competitive advantage in the international market due to its unique growing conditions and quality. By exporting desert rice and its derivatives, Dubai is expected to earn up to $1 billion or more in foreign exchange earnings, which will not only become a new growth point for Dubai's economy, but will also create more job opportunities and sources of income for local residents. In addition to ensuring food security, desertification has always been a serious challenge facing Dubai. According to statistics, Dubai has an average of more than 60 days of sandstorms every year. Imagine that when a sandstorm strikes, the entire city is shrouded in yellow sand and the air is filled with the smell of sand. People have to close their doors and windows and minimize going out. Such weather not only affects people's daily lives, but also poses potential threats to health. Living in such an environment for a long time will significantly increase the incidence of respiratory diseases. But desert rice, a salt-tolerant and drought-tolerant rice variety, has roots that can penetrate deep into the sand and stabilize the dunes, preventing further expansion of the desert. At the same time, the growth of rice will continuously improve the soil quality, increase the number of organic matter and microorganisms in the soil, and make the originally barren sandy soil gradually become fertile. Over time, as desert rice cultivation continues to expand, Dubai's desert may gradually turn into an oasis. Pieces of green rice fields will replace the long sandy deserts, bringing vitality to the city. It is worth mentioning that China and Dubai also signed an agreement to promote sea rice in the Arab world to reduce the risk of future food shortages. This cooperation will not only promote exchanges and cooperation between the two parties in the economic and technological fields, but also provide a strong guarantee for food security in the Arab world. Through joint efforts, we have reason to believe that Dubai in the future will be a green city full of vitality, and desert rice will become a bridge of friendship connecting China and the Arab world. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.